We probably. It's a cross. We never know. You're in good company. Good to see you. Make sure my phone's on.
Is somebody from TSB up there? Or cats? Hi, now I can see you. Hi, Roxanne. Hi, Roxanne.
Cats.
Office. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're ready to sign. Good afternoon, everyone. And welcome to the presentation meeting of the Sophia Travis Grants Committee. And we are delighted to have all of you applicants present, and we are delighted to have the public seeing your presentations on Zoom or on CATS. And this meeting is really for you all, for your organizations, not for us. We, as members of the committee, make recommendations to the county council about grant funding. But we do not judge your presentations here today. So relax, just go with the flow. And let me move now to introduce the committee. To my left is Jennifer Crossley and Jean Kapler. To my right is Trent Deckard. And not with us today, but on the committee is Josh Johnson. You all might wonder that you know some of us. Some of you in organizations know some of us. And we know your organizations. And if we are involved with your organizations in any significant way, we recuse ourselves from evaluating your application. And this is just important for you to know and also for the public to know. We have so many wonderful organizations that we want to be able to fairly judge all of you. So I have a couple things to bring to your attention tonight. First, I hope all of you have picked up the presentation list that's at on the table at the back of the room. And this shows where you are. According to the list, I will group you in threes to be prepared to come up. And while you are getting ready to come up, you can sign the presentation record. And this is something that is done at all county government meetings, that when a member of the public speaks, we ask for their name to be on record so that we get the name right. Before speaking, I would advise that you adjust the microphone so it is directly in front of your mouth. I hope mine is right now. And this is necessary for CATS to be able to hear you, for Zoom to be able to hear you. I think we'll hear you without any problem, but we want the public to be able to hear you that are not here. So a few other pointers. Grant awards will be announced during the county council work session on Tuesday, August 23rd. That meeting will be held in this room at 5:30 p.m. And you are welcome to attend or to watch it on Zoom or later on CATS. And please feel free to contact the council office if you have any questions. You may call them at 812-349-7312, or you can email the council office at counciloffice@co.monroe.in.us. And when you call the council office, you will hear our incredible council administrator, Ms. Kim Shell, who's sitting right over there. Ms. Shell will be paying attention to the time of your presentation. And that is a 3-minute presentation. There will be a timer on the screen that will guide you. And you should be able to see it, but it will be on screens to your right and left. So that's not as easy for you to see if you're looking straight ahead at us. But there will be a 30-second warning as well. Oh, there you go. There's that warning. We just ask that you follow the 3-minute rule because that is making it fair for everyone. So committee members, you have anything you want to add before we begin?
The only thing is, I think, can you all hear us all in the back? I think okay.
You can't hear me? Oh, dang. See, you need to have the microphone right in front of your mouth. Okay, is that better? Thank you. Sorry about that. Jean, anything?
Just want to make sure is everybody clear on the directions and what Cheryl was describing when the sound wasn't quite as loud? All right. Any questions on directions? Okay.
Okay. Fran?
I would just add that we're all so glad that you're here, and this is a very easy process among friends and neighbors. So any anxiety about it, please don't have it. We're just telling the public what the great things you all do.
So just to help you relax a bit more, this is the best committee in all of county government. And I'm very happy to chair it. People fight to get on this committee. And it is because we do good work and we help the people who are helping our community. And that's a real privilege for us as committee members. So let us begin. And the first 3 will be Planned Parenthood, Grace Center, and Indiana Recovery Alliance. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stephen Conrad, and I'm presenting on behalf of Planned Parenthood's Bloomington Health Center. Sorry, too tall.
You're too tall.
I'm presenting on behalf of Planned Parenthood's Bloomington Health Center, which is just right over here at 2nd and College. We are a safety net family planning and sexual health care provider. We offer the full spectrum of birth control and contraception, abortion care and miscarriage management, pregnancy evaluation and basic infertility services, STI and HIV testing, treatment and prevention, gender affirming hormone care, cancer screenings, as well as annual exams and a wide array of primary health services and screenings. We serve almost 3,000 patients a year at the Bloomington Health Center, and about 1/3 of our patients are uninsured or unable to pay for their needed health care. As a safety net provider, we serve everyone no matter what. We don't cap the number of Medicaid patients we serve, and anyone can come to us for help no matter their income or insurance status. We are respectfully requesting a grant of $5,000 to help cover the cost of birth control for patients who are unable to afford their contraception of choice. We will utilize grant funding to help any patient in Monroe County who is uninsured, underinsured, and or living with an income below the federal poverty level. Of the many family planning options available, IUDs and implants are one of the easier and most popular methods. They are the most effective, but by far the most expensive. Some IUDs cost around $2,000, putting them financially out of reach for a lot of people. We expect that most grant funding will help patients access IUDs or implants, but it will also be used to help patients who need or prefer options like injections, patches, the pill. No grant funding will be used to help patients access abortion services. This work helps uplift the whole community. Access to birth control reduces teen birth, unintended pregnancy, abortion rates, infant and maternal mortality, and it significantly reduces the childhood poverty rate. Young people who can plan their pregnancies are significantly more likely to complete high school, pursue and complete higher education, participate in the labor force, and establish stable, long-term relationships. For any community For any community to achieve its health and economic equity goals, there must be equitable access to family planning services. Right now, there is this growing state of public concern and confusion and even panic about federal and state changes to abortion care and miscarriage management. Demand for services like IUDs, vasectomy, and emergency contraception is surging. As a safety net provider, we're working very hard to make sure the most vulnerable Hoosiers, or those furthest from achieving their family planning goals, have access to their contraception of choice, especially during this tumultuous time. On behalf of our staff and the thousands of patients we serve, thank you for considering this grant request that will increase access to family planning services in Monroe County.
Thank you.
I'm with the Grace Center. I'm Vicki Sorensen, President of the Board, representing the Grace Center, Inc. On behalf of the Grace Center, we would want to thank the Sophia Travis Committee for your time in this process. Grace Center received 501c3 status on March the 22nd, 2006. In September 2006, Grace Center Food Pantry began serving the townships of Clear Creek, Indian Creek, and Polk of southern Monroe County. Our pantry is in Harrodsburg, and we work from a very small space, serving about 25 to 30 households on Thursdays from 3 to 7. Grace Center, Inc. is committed to providing nutritious food to the southern area of Monroe County. This rural part of the county faces some of the same issues as larger communities such as Bloomington and Bedford. Many of our shoppers, who we know by name, fight food insecurity each week. Every week, our volunteers talk with and assist them in receiving food from our pantry. Grace Center is a shopper choice foods pantry, as we believe this is a dignified way for our shoppers to receive food and a more common sense approach. Due to COVID pandemic in 2020, we had to adjust our shopper choice in food in order to follow guidelines set out by the Monroe County Board of Health, CDC, Hoosier Hills Food Bank, and Indiana State Department of Health. Shoppers now stay in their cars and volunteers deliver food directly to their vehicle. Due to our space limitations, we don't see this changing for quite some time, but it's worked well and shoppers seem to have adopted to the change. Food availability at our pantry is accomplished by Hoosier Hills Food Bank, as well as through monetary and food donations. These donations come from local churches, clubs, organizations, individuals, and grant funds such as the Sophia Travis Community Service Grant. Grace Center, Inc. will continue to support the Southern Monroe County community through our pantry with its dedicated volunteers who wish to make a difference in their community. Therefore, we have submitted our application with a monetary request of $3,000 for assistance from the Monroe County Council to help with the cost of food purchases for 2022. The Sophia Travis Grant through the Monroe County Council has played a vital role in the sustainability of our pantry and has done so in 2009. We appreciate this partnership and we sincerely thank you for your time and consideration of our application. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our list is the Indiana Recovery Alliance, and I don't see anyone up there. Is there anyone seated in the room from Indiana Recovery Alliance? Okay, then we will move on to the next three. And that is Area 10 Agency on Aging for the Enright Community Center, Beacon Incorporated, and Monroe County United Ministries. If you would prepare to come up and present to us. Welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me. My name is Amy Kendall and I'm Development Director at Beacon Inc. Beacon aids and empowers individuals experiencing homelessness and extreme poverty. We have a variety of services that we offer, including Shalom Center, which is our day center, Friends Place, which is our night shelter, a rapid rehousing where we help people experiencing homelessness get into homes quickly, our street outreach where we meet people where they are experiencing homelessness, and Crawford Homes where we help people who have disabilities get housing. We are requesting $7,325 for the Sophia Travis grant for 2 AEDs and Red Cross CPR first aid training for our employees and volunteers. This training would be for 20 of our employees and volunteers to be certified, and then 5 of them to become trainers themselves. We would really appreciate this grant because we know that the vulnerable population we work with is especially susceptible to heart conditions. According to the Mayo Clinic, homeless adults are 40 to 50% more likely to die of heart disease than people who have stable housing. So having AEDs and training for our employees and volunteers would just be an extra layer of support for our clients. We know that our clients are vulnerable as well because 96% of them have incomes less than or equal to 30% of the area median income. Currently at Beacon, we do not have AEDs or do CPR first aid training for our employees and volunteers. If we were to receive this funding, we would have 1 AED at our day shelter and 1 at our night shelter. So we would have around the clock aid for our guests. And we serve dozens of people a day at those locations. In addition, employees and volunteers receiving the first aid and CPR training would be located at all of our sites. So we look at this serving 2,500 of our guests total. Included in the first aid training are universal precautions. This deals with the avoidance of blood-borne pathogens being transmitted when dealing with open. And so we have people who come in with little scrapes and cuts and sores and things like that. So we provide basic first aid materials for them, peroxide Band-Aids, that kind of thing. So this would protect our employees and volunteers as well. So we would really appreciate your consideration and thank you for helping us keep our guests safe.
Thank you. Do we have Indiana Recovery Alliance arrive or Area 10 Agency on Aging? Hello, how would you like to come up and speak right away? Yes, come up to the microphone and you can sign in after on the paper by the table behind you after you present.
Perfect.
And please lean close to the mic. We all
Okay.
know it's hard. Thank you.
Everybody can hear me okay?
Wonderful.
Well, good evening. My name is Nakia. I work with Area 10 Agency on Aging as the Activities and Programming Manager for the Enright Centers. Thank you for taking time to consider our proposal and all the work you do to support other important community projects. Enright East Active Living Community Center is a program of Area 10 Agency on Aging, a partnership with the City of Bloomington Parks and Rec, and a collaboration with IU Health Bloomington Alzheimer's Resource Services. Our grant with the City of Bloomington Parks and Rec financially supports our phone, our short-term lease rent, and 1 part-time staff person coordinating our space. Area 10 provides all the staffing and support for program planning, scheduling, direct programs, as well as congregate meal programs. Since 2019, starting as a pilot program, we've met over 700 lovely senior Monroe County residents that have been super outspoken about their excitement for a centrally located and inclusive space for our programs. So we have been here to serve as a safe and inclusive space for Monroe County, seniors to enhance their well-being through health, fitness, friendship, and creative arts programming. We offer hybrid book clubs, virtual and in-person group exercises, multiple clubs for creative seniors, offsite adventures, and more. So with everyone being so outspoken in the past and even through the pandemic, we're still meeting about 30 people a month, and we're really excited about that. So to keep our promise and continue fulfilling that need, we're asking for your support today to upgrade our technologies to better support our virtual, hybrid, and in-person programming, acquire stable and secure wireless internet for our tech help program, as well as general use. And that's another program that we have gotten help with the City of Bloomington's Digital Equity Grant to provide that service. And we probably help 30 seniors a month when we have proper staffing. So that's one of our really big programs that we like to have some support for, as well as upgrading our space with safe and more accommodating seating for our fitness classes. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Monroe County United Ministries, Lotus Education and Arts Foundation, and the Boys and Girls Club. Welcome.
Hi. Okay,
We'll get that slide changed in
All right.
just a minute. There you go. Whoops, not that one.
I mean, I can just go with it. All these are great organizations.
What's the name of your organization?
Monroe County United Ministries.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
Thank you.
I recognize that logo. Good afternoon. My name is Mary Jean Hoyger, and I'm the Development Director
Mary Jean,
A little closer.
closer.
at Monroe County United Ministries. MACM strives to create lasting solutions for economic, educational, and social injustices in our community through quality services, collaboration, and innovation. We serve Monroe County's low-income population through two separate programs, our Compass Early Learning Center and the Self-Sufficiency Center. Over the past 83 years, MACM has provided high-quality, affordable childcare and self-sufficiency assistance to households experiencing financial instability. This year, we are requesting $4,500 for our financial assistance fund. This fund is designed to help Monroe County families remain in their home with the lights on during a short-term episode of financial instability, like a sudden layoff, medical emergency, pandemic issues. While the families that utilize MACM Self-Sufficiency Center all experience different circumstances, the average household receiving financial assistance from MACM this year was comprised of 3 individuals and received an average of $500 towards rent or $150 towards utility bills. Seeing the growing number of requests, an increase in almost 60% compared to this point last year, the self-sufficiency staff designed a new approach to MACM's financial assistance program that will incentivize clients who are willing to work with a MACM coach with higher rent assistance amounts, but will not prohibit folks with an urgent need for housing assistance from receiving support. In a very concise summary, our clients now have 3 options for financial assistance. The first one, up to $700, which requires the most amount of time and documentation working with a MACM coach. Option 2, up to $350, requiring a lower amount of documentation and a shorter time working with a coach. And option 3, up to $200, requiring only an ID and a lease or a bill. With this new system in place and working with our community partners, we have been able to provide assistance to a larger amount of clients and a broader range of families. In this way, MACM will continue to promote stability, safety, and security for all the families in Monroe County. We believe that everyone deserves a roof over their head and functioning. With your continued support, we can ensure that anyone who walks through our door will be able to access the resources to make that happen. Thank you so much for your time and have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Lotus. Welcome, ladies.
Hello, thanks for having us and hearing our proposal today. My name is Jill Campbell. I am the Community and Arts Engagement Director for the Lotus Education and Arts Foundation. My job is mostly outreach with the community, and we're here to propose for our grant to fund summer workshops and several engagement activities that are happening this summer. So in the summer, Lotus is known for the Lotus Festival, but beyond that, we also partner with local youth service organizations to run workshops that supplement the programming at their summer camps. A few of the organizations that are here are actually some of those places that we bring the kids into our fire-based space, and they do a culturally significant visual arts activity with my coworker, Amanda. This year we are doing a paper-based activity, and part of the funding for this grant would go towards the materials that we provide for these free workshops for these youth service organizations, such as Banneker Center, Boys and Girls Club, and Girls Inc. Beyond that, we are also going to participate in the 4th Street Festival of the Arts with an activity table there as well. So the broader swath of the community beyond these summer camps can experience this multicultural activity, which Amanda will explain more about because it's her thing. Also we are at First Thursdays with the IU Arts and Humanities Council. So youths, to me, not like actual children, but still undergraduate students, will have an experience with this activity as well. Our free activities, Lotus in the Park and the Festival Arts Village during the Lotus World Music and Arts Festival will also feature this as the Lotus activity in partnership with a bunch of other activities hosted by other youth organizations in the community. So here's Amanda with more specifics.
Yes, so our activity this summer going into the festival is making articulated puppets. So kids will get to learn about the importance of movement in art, as well as one of our sculptures that will be in the Arts Village for the festival called Archaeopteryx. It's a kinetic sculpture. Kinetic just means movement versus static, something that doesn't move. So kids get to learn about movement in art and how they can communicate needs, wants, ideas. When they do these puppets, kids work together to create a puppet and then a story behind it. And in that, they get to learn about ancient Greek puppet history. So they get to learn about Greek culture, learn ways to express themselves through their arts. We have 58 kids that have come through the fire base so far. I have 3 more workshops this week. Boys and Girls Club and Girls Inc. will be there tomorrow with us. So we're looking at reaching about 1,200 people overall at all of our various activities with the help of the Sophia Travis. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. So thanks for having me. I'm Leslie Absher. I'm the development director at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington. Jeff sends his regards. He's on vacation in Wisconsin, so that's good. So this year we're currently requesting $10,000 to replace a mini bus at the Ferguson Crestmont Club. So why a bus? It's broken and it's old and doesn't work anymore. So that's one. But why a bus, right? Why do we need a bus? So we believe our community is currently facing a crisis that's rooted in isolation, right? We've isolated ourselves because of COVID, and we isolate ourselves sometimes when we don't agree with one another. We've isolated ourselves with technology. We are on our phones and we're looking at things, or gaming, or we're shopping. And if we're honest, we all do that a little bit, right? But mostly our kids are impacted by this. They don't know how to come out of that isolation. You and I as adults have been given tools. We can isolate a little bit and then we can re-engage in society. We have tools that we've been given as kids to re-enter society and to help and reach out when we need help. Kids struggle with that. And usually parents are the models for that, right? Parents have shown us how to use those tools, shown us how to build social networks and to access services and ask for help, frankly, when we need it. But kids don't necessarily know how to do that naturally. So the Boys and Girls Club is a place that helps kids to figure out how to engage in social situations, right? We have kids all together learning how to engage with one another, not just next to each other texting, but playing and having to be good sports and sharing and, fighting, and how do they work through that when they have a disagreement and don't agree with one another. And so the club is a safe place for that. And we really need to get as many kids to that safe place as we can. And so that's really why a bus. We need to transport kids from school and from their houses to the club and then back home safely. And at the Ferguson Crestmont Club, our minibus is a critical part of what we do. We take kids on field trips, we do career exploration, we pick them up and take them home. We actually bring meals on weekends when they need it. We do Saturday services now at our Crestmont Club, and that bus is critical and it is no longer operational. So we are struggling to provide the services we need for this bus, but we have some other commitments in place to buy a minibus, but we are requesting 10,000 from the Sophia Travis Committee. That'll be the final piece that we need to go buy a new bus. We've kind of gotten the most we can out of this bus at this point. So thank you for your consideration and for your longtime support of the club. We really appreciate what you're doing to support kids in the community. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, CJAM, and the Cancer Support Community. So Mother Hubbard's. Hello and welcome.
Hi, can you hear me? Good?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, my name is Erica Wheeler and I am the Director of Development at Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, often known as the Hub. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight and tell you a little bit more about our request for funding for $6,650 for our Transportation Assistance Fund. But first, a little bit about the Hub. The Hub is a community food resource center that increases access to healthy food in ways that cultivate dignity, self-sufficiency, and community. We work daily to build a community where food is accessible, equitable, and just, because access to healthy food is a basic human right. Over 15,000 folks access our services annually, the majority living here in Monroe County. The Hub's most utilized service is the food pantry. The pantry offers folks an array of shelf-stable dry goods, an assortment of cooler and freezer items, and this time of year, an abundance of fresh produce. Hub patrons are vocal about the difference our low-barrier client choice pantry makes in their lives. 96% of respondents to our annual survey agreed that their household experiences less hunger by shopping at the Hub. 97% said that the Hub helps their household access healthy food. But what about the folks who can't access our services? Earlier this year, we asked patrons to identify their greatest barrier to accessing food. Nearly 1/3 of respondents identified that to be transportation. Lack of reliable transportation is a pervasive problem in our community, one of the top priority items identified in the city's most recent consolidated plan. Several times a day, Hub staff receive calls from patrons who experience this problem firsthand. Some folks call to ask what food we have available that day to make sure the trip is worth the expense. Some call to say that they'll be able to make it to the Hub, but they can't make it home, and they're wondering if we can help. On more than one occasion, Hub staff have pulled together resources to call a patron in Uber after seeing them struggle to the bus stop with their groceries. But what about the folks that don't call us to ask for help or can't make it to the Hub at all? How many community members forego essential services because they don't have the transportation they need? Second only to food, transportation assistance is the most requested service at the Hub. In April, we launched our direct giving program, an unconditional cash transfer program in which patrons can apply for financial assistance. Of the requests we received in our first quarter, 37% were related to transportation. Earlier this month, we began our second quarter of the program. Within 2 short weeks of the application phase, we received 37 requests totaling $7,325, exceeding available funding by nearly 50%. Of those requests, 46% were transportation related. One applicant shared that they are struggling to pay for gas to get to and from their job. Another shared that they recently had to choose between feeding their children and making their car payment, and now they are behind on their car payment. The Hub is seeking financial support for these requests. Funds will be used to meet transportation-related requests that come through our direct giving program. To stretch our funding as much as possible, we've connected with a local repair shop who has agreed to give the Hub a discount on gift cards for common car services. Funding will also be used to purchase bus passes, gas cards, and taxi rides as needed. The Hub is committed to services, and with your support, we can continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from CJAM. Welcome.
Hello. Hello. My name is Ed Greenabaum. I'm representing the Community Justice and Mediation Center, where I'm a member of the board and director of programs. CJAM's mission is to promote a civil and just society through mediation, education, restorative justice. We really appreciate the county council supporting organizations such as ours through the Sophia Travis Grant Program. Each year, CJAM's paid staff and, more importantly, volunteer mediators provide conflict resolution services to over 500 individuals through mediation and restorative justice programs, and many more through our education and facilitation work. We are requesting $2,940 to support this work. $2,500 of that would support scholarships and stipends to enable participants to join the training program. Scholarships are critical in helping us build a robust and diverse mediation roster, which is critical to doing our work. By the way, our next education program, training program, 40-hour training program starts September 8th, and please go to our website to learn more about it and register. We are also requesting $200 to cover the costs of printing our shoplifting and theft prevention program workbooks that are needed by participants to participate in that restorative justice program, and $240 to purchase one standing and one tabletop signage banner for events. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let us welcome the cancer support community.
Hello.
Hello.
In 2022, 39,460 Hoosiers are expected to be diagnosed with cancer. That's about 2 out of every 5 people, likely touching every single family in this county. I'm Stephanie Shelton, Development Manager of Cancer Support Community, South Central Indiana, or CSC-SCI for short. That's a tongue twister. Our mission is to ensure that all people impacted by cancer are empowered by knowledge, strengthened by action, and sustained by community so that no one faces cancer alone. CSC-SCI is a satellite office of CSC Indiana. Our satellite office requires about $350,000 during the first 2 years of inception per year, and will grow to around $450,000 per year over the next few years. Our major revenue stream for this satellite office in Bloomington is a 5-year startup grant from Bloomington Health Foundation, covering most of our program and operating expenses. And along with that 5-year grant, it also provides the fundraising event Hoosiers Outrun Cancer as a revenue stream, at least for the next few years. All of our funding must be earned through fundraising activities such as events, donations, grants, and other similar activities. CSC Indiana has been in existence as a 501c3 for nearly 27 years, but the satellite office located at the corner of West 3rd Street and Landmark Avenue in Bloomington has been in operation since March 2021. Our programs offered at this location are free cancer support programs to anyone who has been impacted by cancer. Because all of our programs are 100% free to cancer patients, survivors, family members, caregivers, and friends, we must raise the funds to cover these costs so the programs can be free always. Cancer patients and survivors often have to quit work to maintain vigorous treatment schedules and give their bodies the chance to rest and heal. Even if only temporarily, this causes a huge financial strain on most families. When you combine that with enormous medical expenses and debt, it can create a real burden on individuals and families impacted by cancer. Cancer Support Community offers programs such as counseling, music and art therapy, nutritional classes, yoga, Reiki, massage therapy, educational programs, and even a boutique with free wigs, hats, scarves, and other items for cancer patients. The program we're asking for assistance with today is our Patient Assistance Fund. This fund currently has a grant allocation from the United Way to offer enough funds to cover a $100 grocery gift card and $50 gas gift card to each person that completes an application and is within 100%. The ask here today would be to double that amount for each of the individuals who apply. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Our next presenters will be Sojourn House, Amethyst House, and Girls Rock Bloomington.
Good evening. My name is Amy Meek, and I'm a proud founding member of the board for Sojourn House. So at Sojourn House, our mission is to defend, restore, and liberate women who have been trafficked and exploited. From the beginning, a residential program has been our top priority and continues to be so. We're very excited to share that our new model now includes a non-residential outreach and case management in our community. Women are offered pathways to addiction treatments, healthcare, housing, education, and career development. At the same time, renovations of our almost 11,000 square foot portion of our building continues. When completed, this 24-month residential program will allow each woman the time and support that she needs to complete the hard work of healing and then rebuilding her life. We're excited to report that in 2021, the Sophia Travis Award allowed us to purchase organized storage equipment for our building and closet spaces for our residential part. Now that the space of the community education and our case management are well equipped, our focus turns back to that ongoing renovation of that residential facility. We are asking for $6,322 to complete the key safety component of the installation of our fire detection, alarms, and monitoring system. We are more confident than ever that with the combination of our outstanding community volunteers and support of Monroe County, the residential heart of Sojourn House will welcome survivors of human trafficking into a new way of life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Mark DeLong. I'm with Amethyst House.
Mark, you're going to have to lean over because
Okay, there we
you're
go.
tall.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
I'm Mark from Amethyst House, and I just first off wanted to thank Sophia Travis for the several years we've received grant funding, and we've received approximately $20,000 the last few years. It's really helped our program out a lot. So thank you very much. Amethyst House has been in the Bloomington community for about 42 years. And we feel I'm very grateful we're in Bloomington. It's a great community to be in, a lot of collaborative efforts in this. It's the one town I'd want to be in the state of Indiana, I believe. And so we've been here 42 years and we feel like we've been embraced in the community. We serve substance abuse disorder clients, residential and outpatient both. We have 2 residential programs. And everyone's aware we've been going through an opiate epidemic the last few years. And I think the numbers now are suggesting the past 12 months, 110,000 people will have died from overdoses in the country, which is, put that in perspective, it's 30 people a day basically are dying. One of the big budget items we have is our food, and we're asking for monies towards our food for both our residential programs. I think we budget for $35,000 a year, and with inflation and what the costs are looking like with groceries, I think it'll be more like $40,000 this year. So we're going to be a little bit over budget. So our request is for $5,000 for food. And basically our program is one of the few long-term residential treatment programs. We're 3 to 4 months typically. And we provide housing, treatment, case management, individual counseling, family support, and so on. So we appreciate this opportunity to speak to you guys and let you know what we're doing. And thank you again for your support. We do appreciate you guys. So thanks.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kathleen Paquette, and I serve as Secretary of the Board of Girls Rock Bloomington, as well as a volunteer in various capacities since our founding in 2019. Girls Rock Bloomington aims to foster social and cultural change through music mentorship for girls, trans, and non-binary youth. Our primary event is our annual week-long summer camp, where kids ages 8 to 14 have the opportunity to learn an instrument, form a band, and spend the week writing original music with their peers in a supportive, empowering environment, and then get to perform for their community in an open to the public event. During COVID lockdowns, we offered online and outdoor workshops in areas like writing, recording, visual art, and social justice, and managed to not lose our steam and inspiration in the absence of our usual programming opportunities. As well, over the last year, we partnered with the Monroe County Public Library to offer after-school workshops and with WFHB's youth radio program. In the coming year, we'll also be partnering with Young Women Writing for a Change. Our mission is to make the music industry more accessible to previously marginalized populations. So we aim to make our camp and after-school programs as within reach as possible, with some workshops free of charge and all of our programming offered at a sliding scale. In 2020, we started our Community BIPOC Fund, from which we're able to provide free programming to BIPOC campers and participants. Proper funding allows us to keep offering our accessible year-round programming, pay our small staff equitably, offer stipends to artists and volunteers, and offer scholarships for our summer camp. In addition to the roughly 50 kids a year directly impacted by our programming, we work with approximately another 50 volunteers a year who teach workshops and music lessons, offer performances, coach bands, and just generally help out with the kids. Being a volunteer can be just as powerful as being a camper. It's incredibly hopeful and inspiring to see the kids collaborate with ease and watch their creative process unfold in a space where they feel supported and empowered. I personally have worked as a workshop leader, band coach, volunteer coordinator, and interim camp director. I knew Girls Rock was something I wanted to be involved in after struggling for too long to make my start in an extremely male-dominated music scene 25 years ago. I know that when we exclude certain voices and uplift others, we narrow the stories our culture gets to tell. Girls Rock Bloomington recognizes that any true change comes from the culture, and if we are ever to see a more compassionate, kinder, more equity-minded population, more diverse stories and better representation in our art are crucial components. Girls Rock hopes to inspire lasting change by being a place where those seeds can be planted. And we have a lot of fun making noise in the process. Thank you for your consideration. And time.
Thank you. Our next presenters will be the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce Foundation, Girls Inc. of Monroe County, and Hoosiers Feeding the Hungry.
Hello, I'm Katie Sensabaugh, the director of the Success School with the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce Foundation. The Chamber of Commerce's mission is to promote the continuous improvement of the common good and the quality of life in the community through the pursuit of new business, the cultural, social, and economic education of our citizens, and by providing accurate and timely assistance to the business community. The Chamber's Foundation is seeking the Sophia Travis Grant to aid in 2 educational programs. The first program, Tour of Opportunity, is designed as a youth enrichment opportunity through the Chamber's Success School. The Success School acts as a connection between the business and the education communities with a mission to provide real-world learning opportunities for area K-12 students, increasing academic engagement and exciting young people about future careers to shape tomorrow's workforce in Monroe County. The Success School partners with MCC, SC and RBB CSC and provides programming in elementary, middle, and high schools on the following topics: job skills, entrepreneurship, soft skills, career exploration, and financial literacy. The Tour of Opportunity will be a field trip for middle schoolers, and it is a new in-person program for the Success School, which will allow students to visit businesses and educational facilities here in Monroe County and learn about the wonderful employment opportunities available. During the past 2 years, this program has been provided virtually with 4 local organizations and was used in teachers' lessons plans and is always available on the Chamber's website. The goal of this in-person field trip is to allow students to explore the many career opportunities available with a local business and interact with the professionals there. By visiting 2 to 3 businesses and/or a higher education facility during the field trip, we aim to build awareness of the educational or career steps needed to be hired by an organization and inform their current coursework choices. The grant money will be used to offset transportation costs as well as provide a lunch for the students. The second educational program, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion DEI Training, is the Chamber's effort to increase DEI resources available to area businesses and their employees. DEI trainings were offered for free to Chamber members in the fall of 21 and spring of 22. Building on the high participation rate, the Chamber would like to continue this educational program with additional DEI topics for Monroe County businesses, utilizing the grant money to offset speaker fees, marketing materials, class materials, and a lunch for the participants. The Chamber is so appreciative of the Sophia Travis Community Service Grants Program and all it does for our community. Thank you to the committee for your consideration.
Thank you. Welcome to Girls Inc.
My name is Hannah Hirsch, and I'm representing Girls Inc. of Monroe County. At Girls Inc., we strive to equip girls ages 5 through 18 to navigate gender, health, economic, and social barriers to build a future where girls and women are empowered and part of an equitable society. Our hands-on and research-based programs aim to inspire all girls to be strong, smart, and bold. Our affiliate has been serving girls in our community since 1974. However, in March 2020, Girls Inc. in Monroe County was adversely impacted by the pandemic and ceased operations for nearly 2 years. We're now thrilled to announce we're back serving girls again as of this February under a merger with our sister affiliate, Girls Inc. of Shelbyville. Thanks to Girls Inc. of Shelbyville, we were provided with the building blocks to reopen and start serving girls again with nationally recognized and engaging educational programming. Our first program we reintroduced was our free evening programming run by our program specialist, Olivia Sullivan, a certified recreational therapist. During the 3 months of programming, girls were able to engage in functional exercise, touch a real human brain, have healthy snacks, and celebrate their bodies. Our free evening programming is the same programming we're requesting funding for this evening. Now more than ever, providing access to Girls Inc. programs has become absolutely essential as we are seeing regression in school-aged youth in social, emotional, and educational areas due to the pandemic, lockdown, and isolation. Pairing that with the current climate of women's health issues and needs, we want to provide opportunity for the future generation of our women. Without the funding from sources like Sophia Travis Community Service Grant, Girls Inc. will struggle to even begin to understand and combat these negative impacts. We need your support to use collaborative investigation and evidence-based programs so our girls don't have to suffer preventable educational and health crises in addition to gender inequalities they already experience as a marginalized community. This $8,000 would nearly cover the entirety of our evening programming costs and allow for an expansion of hours in the future. Since our operation was ceased for nearly 2 years, in many ways, we are back at square one as a completely new staff needing new supplies, materials, and re-engagement with our community and partners. We are a local trusted organization serving this community for over 40 years, aiming to once again have the capacity to serve hundreds of girls in the Monroe County region. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. Our next presenter hasn't stepped up, but it is Hoosiers Feeding the Hungry. And I don't see anyone here, so we'll move on to the next group. Team First Book, followed by Courage to Change Sober Living, and then New Hope for Families. Welcome, Team First Book.
Short person here. Hello, my name is Carolyn Emmert, and I am a member of Team First Book of Monroe County, a local group affiliated with the national organization First Book. The mission of Team First Book is simple: to provide the children from low-income families in Monroe County free new books that they can take home and own. Our goal is to help close the achievement gap between low and higher income students. Much time, effort, and many dollars have been spent exploring and implementing ways to close this gap. However, powerful research shows that one of the simplest and most cost-effective strategies to improve the educational outcome for low-income children is often overlooked. Children with books of their own at home, books that reflect their own interests, books that they can read and reread or that others can read to them, have shown to do much better in school than those without this resource. And this gain is independent of parental education, occupation, or class. And it persists throughout their schooling through graduate school. Team First Book of Monroe County has provided more than 80,000 books to low-income children in Monroe County since 2010. We raise money which we then grant to Monroe County schools and programs serving young children from low-income families. They then purchase new high-quality books through the National First Book Marketplace for only $3.50 plus, and this is new, a small service charge. The teachers choose books according to the interests of those who get to take them home to keep. Our ideal goal is 4 to 5 books a year for children up to 8 years old. Our request for this year, getting back on track with books, recognizes the continuing need to support low-income children as they struggle to make up for learning lost during the COVID-interrupted school years. We would like to give special emphasis to our preschool recipients, ages 1 to 4, to get them back on track to be ready for a successful school experience, because we know that when books are available in the home, young children are more likely to be read to. When they are read to, they hear vocabulary and syntax not typically heard in everyday conversation. They are hearing and learning the language of school. Thus, these children will enter school ready to learn. The funds from the grant would provide at least 3 books per child for the 351 children in the target groups. Thank you for the generous support you have given us and for your opportunity to share our enthusiasm for our program.
Thank you. Welcome to Courage to Change.
How are you? I'm Marilyn Grimes.
Marilyn?
Is that better?
Much better.
Okay. I'm Marilyn Grimes I'm the executive director of Courage to Change Sober Living. Courage to Change Sober Living provides safe, affordable, low barrier, staff and peer supported transitional living to those suffering from substance misuse in Monroe County. We actually take clients from jail or from prison, and they come out of treatment or they're part of the criminal justice system, drug court, reentry court. And also we're the next step out of Amos's house. So we actually work with them also. CTC is asking for $3,000 to provide scholarships a month, 3 scholarships a month to our residents through our Fresh Start Rent Scholarship Program. Most of our residents come to us from the criminal justice system and have little or no family or community support, financial support, or the ability to access other resources. The obstacles our residents face are not only financial, but also the stigma of having been in the criminal justice system, lack of ties to the community, difficulty in finding employment due to their criminal records, difficulty in accessing social service resources, and help in trying to navigate re-entering the community while staying sober, housed, and paying court fees. The stakes are high for our residents when experiencing these stressors, as studies have shown. Stressors can trigger substance misuse, which can then begin the cycle of incarceration once again. The Fresh Start Rent Program allows our residents to come to us knowing their rent will be paid for the first 2 weeks of their stay, so they can concentrate on finding employment, getting a sponsor, taking care of probation and parole requirements, getting situated into a new home, and for many being back in the community, they have been gone for many years. Scholarships allow for some breathing room while residents work with our house managers to work on their recovery plan and address issues they're facing after being incarcerated or in another treatment facility. As stated previously, some residents need this help later in their stay. I didn't say that, but if our clients are changing jobs and they have an interim, they'll request for that. If they go to treatment, say they relapse and they go to treatment, they're going to come back to us. we'll use that to help cover the costs for them coming back to us. And also sometimes with drug court, they do get stipulated to where they have to spend maybe 2 weeks in jail where they don't work, and we'll use it for that also. Thank you very much for your time and your help previously.
Thank you. Welcome to New Hope for Families. Hello.
Hi, I'm Emily Pike. I'm the Executive Director of New Hope for Families. Thanks so much for having us here this afternoon, and thanks for all your support in the past. At New Hope, we help families impacted by homelessness. We help them in two major ways. One is we provide shelter and supportive services to help those families get housed and back on their feet. The other way is that we provide high quality early childhood care and education to young children impacted by homelessness and a mixed income cohort, again, to help families get back on their feet and also to help kids get that good start they need, be ready to succeed. At New Hope, we have seen in the past couple of years a shift toward longer stays. And longer stays are one of the things that we want to combat as homelessness service providers. And that's because we know that the longer families stay homeless, the less likely they are to be housed. Also, in a really practical way, the longer families stay homeless, the less our practical capacity is to serve families, right? So when we can get families through quickly, we know that we preserve our community's capacity, but more importantly, we mitigate the long-term effects on those kids. And that's always what we're trying to do. So, you know, it's no secret that Bloomington's housing market is really tight. And that's one of the things that causes this. We think a lot about how our high housing costs can lead to homelessness. We don't think as much about how high housing costs contribute to longer durations of homelessness, which contributes to our higher homelessness numbers that we've seen. So one of the things that we realized as a tool at New Hope is being able to give families the support that they need to get housed quickly. And those things primarily are fees for applications. So applying for an apartment is a little bit like applying for a job when you're unemployed, right? You don't apply for one job and wait to see how it turns out, right? You go out and you try to apply for 6 jobs every day. And that's what we tell families about apartments too, that in this community, we know that vacancy rates are very low. And so if you want to be successful, what you need to do is find several places that are going to accept you. We know that most of our families fill out 7 to 10 applications before they land somewhere successful. All of those applications charge a fee. Most of them charge a fee per adult in the family. So really quickly, families can spend quite a lot of money. That ranges from about $300 a family to about $1,000 a family. The other thing that we see families struggling, especially right now, is gas. So being able to get to and from work. We had a mom just yesterday almost miss orientation because she ran out of gas moving into the shelter. We got her there. Last year, you guys supported this and it made a huge difference for us. So I will say last year, I'm very pleased. We had our most successful year ever. 87% of the families served at New Hope moved into a lease in their name that they could afford. And being able to provide relatively small supports per family make a tremendous difference toward that. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one more applicant, Catholic Charities Bloomington Counseling Services. Did I skip? I have a different list. So let me say we have 2, and following Catholic Charities will be Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm so sorry.
Good
Welcome.
afternoon. My name is Michael Stribling, and I'm the Clinical Director of CCB Counseling Services here in Bloomington. The mission of Catholic Charities Bloomington is to serve all individuals, all couples, and all families by increasing accessibility to quality mental health care in our community. Our waitlist continues to grow with urgency to support parents navigating life with children with various diagnoses. Prevalently one, neurodivergence ADHD or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This is a prevalent neurodivergence that begins in childhood and is characterized by inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. Over 6 million children in the United States have been diagnosed with ADHD. Indiana has one of the highest percentages of children diagnosed with about 13%. Life for youth with ADHD is complicated with difficulties in interpersonal interactions, social skill development, and academic knowledge engagement, resulting in significant impairments in school and relationships. Parents often seek guidance from our agency on how to further help their children navigate their lives, find resources to support them, or connect with other parents to seek understanding and support. Living with a neurodivergent child is commonly associated with elevated levels of parenting stress. And receiving a diagnosis of ADHD for a child can leave parents feeling alone and overwhelmed. We are asking Sophia Travis to support Catholic Charities Bloomington's Living with ADHD, a parent support and training program, which helps enrich the lives of youth living with ADHD by providing a safe group setting for their parents to connect with each other, share resources, and learn interventions so they can overcome the stigma of the diagnosis and thrive together. This group will begin in the early fall of 22 for 2 groups of 5 clients. Our group provides a safe space for parents to share their experiences, understand the unique challenges of raising a child with ADHD, and helps to destigmatize the diagnosis. Each session will begin by educating the parents on a guided intervention, which includes creative problem solving, discussions of therapy techniques, which is an attachment-based family therapy, time management considerations, and executive functioning engagement. We help parents acknowledge that this diagnosis makes their child special and realize the mental strength of the neurodivergent children. Creating a community of parents that are experiencing similar obstacles to effective parenting allows the group to affirm the struggle and uplift one another. Offering this support via Zoom to the safety of our clients, staff, and public during this unwavering pandemic. We would like to request $3,290 from the Sophia Travis Community Service Grants Program to support this group for parents, as well as provide training to 2 of our staff therapists in the TheraPlay training. With the support of trained TheraPlay practitioner, parents learn to play with their child in a way that establishes felt safety, increases social engagement, and supports development of positive self-esteem, making this one of the most important aspects of our program. Thank you all for your past support, and we appreciate your consideration. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Hi there. Excuse me. My name is Rebecca Hawkins, and I am here as the program manager for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We have served as our community's premier youth serving organization, providing professionally supported one-to-one mentoring relationships to at-risk children and youth. So our mission is to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. And our vision is that all youth achieve their full potential. We do this by partnering with parents, guardians, volunteers, and others in the community, and we're accountable for each child and youth that we serve in our program, achieving higher aspirations, greater confidence, better relationships, avoidance of risky behaviors, as well as educational success. Our team helps to create lasting relationships with a volunteer and a child and youth, or as we like to call them, our bigs and littles, and it is at no cost to them. We are constantly looking for ways to support our waitlist families as well through community resources and program events. Bigs are carefully screened, trained to support, befriend, and guide their littles who are greatly impacted by adversity. We currently serve children and youth ages 6 to 17 in Monroe County through a variety of mentoring projects and initiatives, including our community-based and site-based programming. Since COVID hit, our agency has had a 30% increase in the numbers of parents seeking mentors for their children. We currently have 250 children either matched or waiting to be matched within our program. This year alone, our agency has seen 650 lives impacted through the work of BBBS. The pandemic has caused our agency to adjust, be flexible, and pivot quickly in our service delivery. We saw a lot of businesses, recreational facilities, and popular activities that our matches previously enjoyed close their doors. This has left them with very few places to go. COVID-19 has helped our agency realize that we need to have a safe and comfortable space for our matches to meet to do their activities, no matter what the circumstances are, whether it's COVID or bad weather or unsafe home environments. With our requested funds of $8,000, we are seeking to support our Big Tool Chest project, which aligns with the Sophia Travis Community Service Grant's primary area of youth enrichment opportunities. The Big Tool Chest project will allow the agency to create a physical safe space for bigs and littles in our office for match meetings. We will also be able to provide materials and activities to help develop their one-to-one mentoring throughout its lifetime. The actual big tool chest items would include age-appropriate games, educational activities, books, and resources for families. Items will be used by Monroe County volunteers, children, and youth, as well as their families. And lastly, our big ambassador tool chest would increase the agency's outreach and recruitment of additional volunteers needed for children who are currently on our wait list. The big ambassador tool chest would be used by staff, board members, and other agency ambassadors. Items like recruitment cards, program resources, branded materials, and additional agency information. Thank you.
Thank you. Presenters, you did a wonderful job. Thank you for coming to tell the community about your grant applications. The committee here has a big job ahead of us, reviewing your applications, and we look forward to reading them in detail. And we hope to announce the awards very soon on August 23rd. So best wishes to all of you, and thank you for what you do for our community. We're done? Thank you, Todd. Sorry I didn't get to introduce you. This is John.
Yeah.